For months now, my friends, you have been urging me to give you a description of my impressions while travelling in foreign lands, never suspecting that you are thereby placing me in a quandary. What shall I tell you? What shall I say that is new, that has not been told before? Who of us Russians, those at least that read periodicals, does not know Europe twice as well as he knows Russia? I have put down twice merely out of politeness. I should probably have said 10 times better. Besides, apart from these general considerations, you are well aware that I, of all people, have nothing to tell, and least of all can I give a methodical account of anything, because there was no method in my sightseeing, and even when I did see anything, I did not have time to examine it very closely. I visited Berlin, Dresden, Wiesbaden, Baden-Baden, Cologne, Paris, London, Lucerne, Geneva, Genoa, Florence, Milan, Venice, Vienna, and a few other places, to which I went twice, and the whole tour took me precisely 2.5 months. Now, I ask you, is it possible to see anything thoroughly while travelling over so many roads in the course of 2.5 months? You will remember that I composed my itinerary while still in St. Petersburg. I had never been abroad, but I longed to go there even as a small child, when, still unable to read, I listened agape, enthralled and terror-struck in turn, to my parents' bedtime reading of Mrs. Radcliffe's novels, which put me in a fever and kept me awake at night. When at last I wrenched myself away from my preoccupations and went abroad, I was 40 years of age, and, naturally enough, I was not content with seeing as much as possible. I wanted to see everything, yes, everything, despite the time limit. Besides, I was quite incapable of coolly choosing places to visit. Heavens, how much I expected from my tour! It doesn't matter if I don't look at things in great detail, I thought. I shall at least have seen everything and been everywhere, and all I have seen will have fused itself into one whole and made up a kind of general panorama. I shall, at one fell swoop, have had a bird's-eye view of the entire land of holy miracles, like the promised land from the mountain in perspective. In fact, I shall experience a new, wonderful and mighty impression. After all, what do I regret most now, sitting at home and recalling my summer-time wanderings? Not that I saw nothing in great detail, but that although I have been almost everywhere, I have not, for example, been in Rome, and in Rome I might perhaps have missed the Pope. In fact, I was overwhelmed by an unquenchable thirst for something new, for a constant change of place, for general, synthetic, panoramic, perspective impressions. Now, what do you expect from me after such a confession? What shall I tell you? What shall I depict? A panorama? A perspective? A bird's-eye view of something? But you will probably be the first to tell me that I have flown too high. Besides, I consider myself to be a conscientious man, and I should not at all like to tell lies, or even travellers' tales. But even should I limit myself to depicting and describing the panoramic view, I could not fail to tell lies, and not even because I am a traveller, but simply because in such circumstances as mine it is impossible not to lie. Reason it out for yourselves. Berlin, for instance, made a very sour impression on me, and I stayed only 24 hours in it. But I know now that I have wronged Berlin, that I have no right to my assertion that it makes a sour impression. There is a dash of sweetness in it, at the very least.